Hey guys, hello and welcome to the channel. So we are back with the part 3 of pl-900. So we had almost covered the a good number of questions in part 1 and part 2. So if you haven't watched yet, so after this video also you can go and watch in the channel that is available. Okay, so let's start with the question. So we are starting with the pl-900 part 3, and hopefully I would request you to completely watch till end. So this will help you to clarify your doubts, and as well as many number of questions you will solve, that much you will be able to confidently answer the questions as well. Okay, so let's start with the questions then. So here we come with the first question, that is, you are an application developer and have recently joined an IT team. You need to develop several formulas for a new canvas app. What should you use to do this? So as I had earlier also discussed, when you see this a targeted keyword, that is nothing but several formulas for new canvas app. So something like basically definition or the main users of the service one should know, right? So when you say you need to develop several formulas for a new canvas app, so one should think that the correct option should be PowerFX language. As you can see, data analysis expression, DAX language, Power Query formula language, these are not the appropriate ones. So we'll discuss the answer also. So let's see. So yeah, PowerFX language. So you should not use Power Query formula language, also known as M language. The Power Query tool is a significant component in Power BI. Although you use Power Query to ingest and transform data, the M language is generated behind the scenes for you. You can access the advanced editor in Power Query to check and even edit the language. Same way, DAX language you cannot use, because you should use DAX to create custom columns and measures. Okay, not for the formula one. And you should not use model that understand natural language. So here we are talking about the formulas part. Okay, all right, then next question. Okay, so your IT department manages inventory using a SharePoint list. IT workers have access to the inventory on an intranet website. Okay, you need to create a mobile app through which users can initiate inventory request. Users must also be able to manage their request by using the SharePoint list. Okay, which two actions should you perform to create the mobile app? So what we have to perform over here, we have to do two actions to create the mobile app, as simple as that, right? So the two actions, so let's see the options first of all. So create a power apps model driven app. So it is about the mobile application. So we have already solved the number of questions, so we know that this is not the correct option. Create a power apps canvas app. So yes, so we can select this. So let's see the other question also first. Create a power apps form and connect it to the SharePoint list. Okay, all right, create a power apps portal. So as in question, we can see we need to create the mobile app, right? So as we can eliminate directly first and fourth option, so we are left with the second and third part. So let's see the correct option as well. So yes, these two are the correct options. So you should create the mobile app using a power apps canvas apps. Canvas app lets you customize the layout of your app. That is very perfect. You should also create a power apps form and connect it to SharePoint list by using a connector. Remember, when we create a power apps and connect basically it to SharePoint list, then we need a connector. By connecting your form to SharePoint list, you can add or edit the entries. Okay, next question. You are modifying an edit form in Power Apps Canvas app. Okay, the form has a field that is based on a list of values. The list is populated from a data source which contains more than 200 items. You should be able to search values from that list and conserve the screen scroll size. Are you getting what question is saying? So you need to conserve, and basically you can when we scroll, when the data is more or the content is more in a particular activity or a screen, so we need to do scroll to access that completely, right? So the question saying you should be able to search values from that list and conserve the screen scroll size. You need to recommend the appropriate control for this field. All right, So which control we will use for that? So we have an option combo box, radio. So radio will not be the option. List box, no. Drop down. So see, the question target is here. The targeted keyword is search values from that list which can conserve the screen scroll size. So that is nothing like I can see the correct option, that is none another than combo box, right? So let's see the correct option for this, and yes, combo box is the correct one, which allows you to display a list and search for the items. So this is like the we can say inbuilt feature, or like a predetermined feature of this control. So we should be aware of the controls as well, right? You should not recommend a radio control. It is best used with the only few items. You cannot search for items. This is control, and the screen scroll size will expand significantly if you display more than 200 items. Okay. See guys, if in case I'm not explaining the proper description, so you can pause and check out the explanation after we check the questions. Okay, then you are creating a canvas app, you need to use the appropriate control. Okay, so now this is about the drag and drop. So let's see which control we will use for what. So create and edit records. So for that, what we will use? So first of all, we can do that in form, right? So let's drag the form. Display list of record, so that we can do from the gallery. Okay, contain controls with a background image. So contains a control with a background image is nothing like I can see this is the screen, and screen is the correct options. So let's check the correct option. So yes, here we go, that is form, gallery and screen. So why not others? Like why should not select the card control? Card control is used to within a form, and it handles the display and editing for a single field. Card control is for a single field. Similarly, button control. So button control is allow the user to click and interact with the app. When selected, a button will perform some action. So this is the basic things. If you know the form controls, so basically you will be able to select the correct answer over here. Okay. So you have a Power Apps Canvas apps. You create and publish a new version of this app. However, this is a new version, has a bug. Okay, understood. And so you need to restore the app to a previous version. You restore the app to the previous version. How many app versions are there in version tab? So this is, I think, the most repeated question, and everyone should by default know the answer of this. That is nothing but 3, right? So how many app versions are there in version tab? There are basically 3 versions. Okay, remember this. Your IT department manages inventory using a SharePoint list. Your manager asks you to develop a mobile application that can automate this process. Great. You need to ensure that your app contains screens for editing inventory items and list all inventory items. What is the quickest way to accomplish this task? So what we need to ensure, that is our app should contain screen for adding and editing. So what can we do over here? So model driven application. So first of all, the question says about for the adding and editing for maybe the customization. So first we can reject this. Create a canvas app from a template. Okay, all right. Create a canvas app from scratch. Create a canvas app from data. So the most relevant I can see is the canvas app from data. So while why should we not create from scratch? Because we need to develop all the screens, like manage all that stuff again, and this is not the quickest one. What we want is to be quickest one to accomplish this task. So let's see. Yeah, so create a canvas app from data, and you can pause and read this description explanation as well. Okay, so we can move to the next one now. Your HR department has employee information stored in SharePoint list. You create a canvas app by generating an app from data. You need to describe this process. Okay, so let's see what are the statement given over here. As part of the process of generating an app from data, okay, a browse screen is created listing all employees. Browse screen is created listing all employees. So yes, that is correct. As part of the process of generating an app from data, an edit screen is created to add or update information about existing employees. That is very correct and sounds logically perfect also. A refresh or reload button is created on the browse screen to see updates. Yes, even this is correct. So you can read this and like basically this sounds logically also. So yeah, so these are the correct answers. So you can read this description also. So, alright, we can move to the next question. Your company has an on-premises Oracle database with finance data. You must display the data from the database in a new Power Apps Canvas apps. Okay, you need to establish the connection between the database and the app. So what are the options available over here? So the options are app source, data gateway, and Microsoft Dataverse. Okay, so don't fall into trap now. Read this carefully. So as this says, you need to establish the connection between database and the app. Read this carefully. This is about the database and the app. So what you will use the data gateway. Why not the Microsoft Dataverse or data source or app source? So basically data source, as we can see, so like to access external data which is stored in cloud services, right? So we are basically going to use the database which is available in on premises, not into the like cloud services, right? So this is not the correct option. And so let's see the answer first of all, and then we'll see the description. So yes, here the explanation is about Microsoft Dataverse. So Dataverse is used to store business data used by your applications. So the data is organized as tables. A table is a set of rows used to store data. Okay. You should not use the app source. So app source to distribute and publish apps for Power Platform and Dynamics 365 to a broader audience. Okay, then now to the next question. Hopefully you can find the questions helpful. So if you're watching till here, then I would request you to please hit a like on a video. Thank you so much. Okay, so your company uses a Canvas app for order booking. Okay, a coworker adds some functionality to the app that is published without testing. They add a button control and an edit form to the app. You need to revert the changes they made as quickly as possible. What should you do now? Okay, so as we can see, the like the functionality has been published without testing and we need to revert back. So what we can do? So restoration is the option. So let's see, edit the app to remove the button and edit the form control. Delete and republish the app. This is totally wrong. Okay, so you can eliminate quickly this. Uninstall the new changes. So this is like you cannot uninstall the new changes. Restore the app. So this sounds perfect. So restoring will like we can get back to our previous version or the previous form of application. So let's see the answer. So yeah, this is the restore the app. So you should not uninstall the app. Doing so would uninstall the app from all user devices. You should not edit the app to remove the button and edit the form control. This would take time and you need the quickest method to restore the app. Great. Next question. You release a new version of a Power Apps Canvas apps. Several users are experiencing difficulties because of the release. You need to roll back a previous app version with the least effort possible. So again, this is about the rollback. So as you can see, many questions are coming about the previous version and rollback. So you can give this question as an importance. So mark this, like take a screenshot of the questions as well. Okay. So you need to roll back. So what should you do now? Okay, so what are the options for this? Delete the app and create a new app based on the previous version. So we are not going to do this. So because the question is saying like rollback of a previous app. So nothing is about over here to delete the application. Rename the app and share the previous app version with the same name. Okay, rename the app and share the previous app version with the same name. So maybe this sounds perfect, but let's see the other question, other options as well. So undo the changes. So in Power App Studio and deploy a new version. So deploy a new version, Power App Studio it is mentioned, restore the previous app. So yeah, so we want to restore the previous app version, and here's the option available which is more suitable to that. So okay, this is the perfect one. So yeah, so here in the question it is not asking us to rename the application, right? So we cannot select the second one over here, so we can simply restore the previous version of the application. If this option would not be present over here and the question would framed bit different manner, and at that time maybe you can select this one, as we want to like rename the app and share the previous app version with the same name, but question is bit different, so that could be framed accordingly. Okay, so you can read the explanation over here, so pause and read that. Next question, your co-worker needs to design an app using Power Apps for the company HR department. You need to help them choose the right control for the HR app. Which control should you recommend for each task? To answer, select appropriate question. So we'll select that, and let's see. To show employee photo, name and department information. So this is about the gallery control first of all, right? If you want to see the employee photo and everything, every detail about that. To display, add and update record. So this is about the operation. So what can we do? This is about the editing the form control. To take full resolution photos and upload them to a data source. So that is about the add picture control, as we want to take a full resolution photos. So yeah, this is the simplest I think question. So we can move to the next question now. You are creating a new canvas apps in Power Apps. You need to use the appropriate control type. So let's see what are the statements available over here. Sorry, so to show a list of manufactured products, so list of we want to see the list, right? So in that case we'll use the gallery. To allow the users to choose multiple predefined categories, so that is about what is the drop down. Okay, so to allow the users to choose multiple predefined categories, so that is list box. Okay, yeah, so to upload a product picture from a mobile device, so this is like add picture, so simply you can add this, and let's see the answer. So this is also about the control, and yes, we can move to the next one now. You are developing a Power Apps Canvas app. You design a gallery control in your app to display customer sales orders. You need to display only the orders from the last 90 days in the most efficient way possible. What should you do over here? So as we want to display the last 90 days, so basically we will create the formula. So yeah, so we can see the first option, that is to create a formula for your gallery that uses the filter function. Let's see the other as well. So purge out all orders over 90 days old from your data source. So as we are talking about the Canvas application, so we design a gallery control in your app to display customer sales order, and simply we want the last 90 days. So most efficient way possible is create a formula for your gallery that uses filter function, create a new model driven app, and see, first of all you are talking about Canvas app and you will switch again like a new model driven app. So this doesn't sound perfect first of all. Okay, create a new data source and copy orders younger than 90 days. So this is also wrong. So let's see. Yeah, you can read the explanation from the below source. Yeah, thank you. All right, next one. You are an accountant. You want to assist staff members with submitting their expenses by building a simple Canvas app. You need to use various Power Apps control. Okay, so again we need to drag and drop for this. So let's see the statement, what are available statements. So to display a list of previously submitted expenses. So previously submitted expenses, to see the list of that, so what you will do, again you will go to the gallery. To allow users to edit, simply drag and drop edit forms. To add one more images to the screen, so that is if you want to add the images, that will be the media. Let's see. Okay, you can pause and check the explanation. Next question. You are the Power Platform administrator for your organization, and you are responsible for deploying Canvas apps to various teams. You have given a specific user the permission level of user. Which two action will the user be able to perform with this Canvas app? Each correct answer present a complete solution. So first of all, you have given a specific user the permission, right? Permission level of user. So which two action will the user be able to perform? So first of all, view is possible. So very firstly we'll select this view, and other thing we can allow him to use that, as it is basically mentioned straightforward. You have given a specific user the permission level of user. You are responsible for deploying Canvas app. Okay, so view and use can be the correct answer. Nothing about editing and sharing it is mentioned. So let's see. Yes, that is correct. So if you read the question briefly and interpret in your mind, then you can find the answer in question itself. Majorly, if the it is about the service definition, then you will be able to judge that. If it is use case based, then you need to completely read the question and go through all the options. So don't skip any of the options and analyze accordingly which can be the correct option, because sometimes it can be tricky also. You're a Power Apps developer, you publish a new Canvas app, you need to identify the different ways in which your team can access the published Canvas app from their mobile devices. Identify the different ways in which your team can access. So this is just about the access, right? What are the three ways of doing this? So we need to look now the options which are available. Navigate to the mobile browser. So yes, this is the one option. Navigate to the platform app store. So platform app store, yes, this is also the correct one. And as we want to identify the different ways in which our team can access published, right? So this is about accessibility. Navigate to OneDrive for business. So this is wrong, as we don't want to download any cloud stored data. We just want to access. So navigate to make.powerapps.com. So that is also correct one. Yeah, then this is the explanation. Kindly please stop the video and read this first. Yeah, next question. Your company uses Power Apps. You want to build a Canvas app for mobile phone users by connecting to a SharePoint list of emergency contact names and numbers. You need to identify the functionalities of the default screen which are automatically created within the app. So automatically created. So what we can do, which three functionalities of the default screen are described below. So let's see. Which three functionalities of default screen are described below. You need to identify the functionalities of the default screen. So default screen is basically viewing an existing item, finding users in your organization. So this is not the correct one. Editing an existing row. So yes, default function. So default screen. So editing an existing row also, it's a good one. And browsing a gallery. So this is also correct one. Showing a success message. So we can see these three options. So I'm not pretty much sure, but yes, I am somewhat pretty sure like this can be the correct one. So let's see that. Yeah, then viewing an existing one, editing an existing row, browsing a gallery. Cool. Now to the next question. All right. You are creating a model driven app. Which component should you use to meet the following requirement? To answer, select the appropriate. Okay, let's see. So what are the statement below? So to define how a list of rows for a table are displayed, define how a list of rows for a table are displayed. That is, no, this is not a chart. So chart is the wrong one. Dashboard. So define how a list of rows. So list of rows is simply a view maybe. So to display or edit field. So this is about a form. If you want to display or edit field of data from one row. To configure the navigation of your application. So that is basically navigation. So sitemap will be used. To display visualization from one or more tables. So to display visualization, you will use the dashboard. When it comes to visualization, and it is like to display from multiple tables, so that should trigger you directly the dashboard. Okay, so this is the simplest one, as we have solved a many number of 100 plus number of questions till now. So if you guys have not solved the questions, so I would recommend you to first solve the 100 questions which we have solved. So you can go to my channel and check for the part 1 and part 2. Okay, So your IT department manages inventory using a SharePoint list. IT workers have access to the inventory on an intranet website. Your manager asks you to streamline this process. You need to create a mobile app through which IT workers can edit the status of the inventory without directly accessing the SharePoint list. Your manager should be able to see inventory stats on their dashboard. Which two tools should you use? Each correct answer represents parts of the solution. So this is again about create a mobile app. So this is nothing over here to automate something, so we can neglect this one. And as my manager should see that, so this will be about the visualization report again. So that would be Power BI. And I don't want to build any chatbots over here to like basically entertain someone or right. So in that case, I could I could neglect this one. Power apps, yes. So this two is the tool. Let's see. Correct. Pause and read this explanation. So yes, we can move to the next one now. You are composing a model driven application. Okay, which two component can be added to a model driven application? So this is about model driven application and what you can that is add. So one is the business process flow, as we all know, and other is the form. So business rule will not be the correct answer over here if we see. So because basically business rules on the app, you cannot add that. Business rules are included automatically if the table or form they are associated with are added to the app, but you cannot add or remove business rules directly. Then form and business process flow, it's all right then. Okay, then next question. Your company uses Power Apps. Let's drag and drop then. So a screen used to display table, rows and names of columns. What it is displaying me? Table rows and name of column. Then what it is? It is simple one. So it is the view. Okay. And a screen used for data entry to add and edit table content, that is form. So this is again form. Remember, please read about the form controls and basically about the UI features, so that will easily like you can select the answer very easily. So used for the navigation in model driven app. So see, we have already solved this kind of question, so that is nothing but a sitemap. Let's see. Correct. All right, we can move to the next question now. You need to create a model driven application in Power Apps. So drag and drop the correct answer for that. So let's read the statement. So decide to use the standard account table or create a custom table. Standard account table or create a custom table. So we do not want to build the app or we do not want to review the code. This is not about the graphic designing. This is nothing about the defining of the process that can be. I'm not sure, but yes, I'm sure now because looking at the other options, I'm sure, pretty much sure that this is the model data. Obviously, this is the model data. Determine if calendar year ending should be used or if fiscal year ending is needed. So this is about defining something. So define process. Select the components you need in app designer. So if this will come under your build the app. So let's see. So yeah, so this is how you can use the strategy to eliminate the useless or unwanted options. So your chances get increased in order to select the correct options. Great, we can move then. Yes, to the next question. If you are building a model driven Power App, you need to add a new page or to your design to display charts from several unrelated data was tables. What should you create for that? So what I want to do over here, so first of all I want to create something that could add a new page to your design. Great. So I will use a dashboard over here. So let's see the correct answers directly. So yeah, dashboard. So you should create a dashboard for your model driven app design. The dashboard page is built for scenarios when you want to display several charts and tables on the same page. Quite logical one. You need to share a model driven app that you recently saved and published in Power Apps. Which role must you have to do this? So this is again about the roles and responsibilities. So as this is a model driven application and as that you recently saved and published in Power Apps. So which role one should have? You must have to do this. So you should be able to perform some action in the environment. So that is nothing but the environment admin. So basic user is nothing related to the question. System customizer is nothing again related to admin roles. So yeah, so admin, environment admin is the correct. Okay, so you can pause and read this explanation. So next question. You are implementing multiple Power Automate solutions to automate some business task. You need to use the appropriate flow type for each task scenario. So it is about the flow. So let's see what are the statement. A task that run every 2 weeks. So that is something which is scheduled, right? Every 2 weeks. A task that run when a new sales order is created. So new sales order is created. So this will be something automated. A task that runs on demand based user input. So a task that runs on demand based user input will be instant. So we can select this instant. Let's see the correct one options. Yeah, so these are the correct one. So we can go to the next. Your company is using Dynamics 365 customer service. Dynamics 365. When customer representatives finish a customer call, they must perform a certain set of tasks. They sometimes perform the task in a different order. You need to use Power Automate to define a flow that guides representative to complete task in the correct order. Which flow should you use for this? So this is about the business process flow only. So we cannot use the scheduled flow. So as this is about the Dynamics 365 customer service, and if we finish a customer call, we need to perform a certain set of tasks. So business process flow, we can implement this one. So let's see the correct option. So let's see. Yeah, so this is business process flow. One might can get confused about this instant flow. So why not this? So instant flow are used to automate the task with the click of a button. Once a button is clicked, it will trigger an action. So this is not about that. So we cannot select that. Next question. Your company is using Dynamics 365 customer service. When customer representative finish a customer call and mark the ticket as completed, a reminder must be sent to the customer after a week to ask about their experience. So yeah, so this usually happens when you complete your basically if something is assigned to you and it gets completed, so immediately that cannot be closed. So user or a client side will confirm if everything is okay. So 1 week is required minimum for that. So we need to ensure that the reminder is created once the ticket is marked as completed. So what we will use in this? So we will use the automated flow. So let's see. Yeah, automated flow is the correct one. So you should not use business process flow. So business process flow allow you to define a set of steps to be followed in a specific order. You should not use scheduled flow. So use are used in cases where you want to perform an action after a specified time, like after an hour or once a day. You should not use approval flow. So approval flow are used for managing approval processes or automating approval systems, like approving an inventory request. So like that stuff, so for requesting and approving and all that. Okay. Next, what you are the manager of your company's project management office department. Okay, you use Power Automate to create a flow that automatically sends an email to you when a PMO team member marks a task as complete. PMO team members are prematurely marking task as complete. You must add a verification step to the process to only send an email to you if a project lead confirms that a task has been complete. So it is about the confirmation. Oh, sorry, I clicked on to show answers. So sorry for that. So yeah, so here is the answer in front of you. That is, you need to modify the flow. So which two components you will use? So you will use an approval, as you want to take an approval from the lead. So that is basically a confirmation. So project lead should confirm yes that it has been completed. So approval is the correct option, and you should add a condition to that. So an approval is a type of action used when you need to have someone approval or reject them. Okay, you need a project lead approval during this workflow. That's a good one. Before sending an email to you, you should add a condition to check whether a project lead successfully approved the task. That is also correct. Next question. What happened to the screen? Just a moment. Why my screen got stuck? Okay, so now to the next question, that is a department in your company wants to be able to review and authorize repairs under warranty with as little effort as possible. For compliance reasons, authorizations must be logged and no work should be undertaken without authorization. You need to use Power Platform to implement a solution that meets this requirement. Then what should you do in that case? So you will simply create approval flow. So let's see what are the options. So yeah, Power App, Power BI report. No, so we do not want to show the report to anyone. Neither we want to create a specific app for that or instant flow. So we have not as like created any automation. So we do not require that too as well. So approval flow is required because as it is about the compliance reason, authorization must be logged and no work should be undertaken without the authorization. So we'll create an approval flow for that. So let's see the options. Yeah, so the correct option is the approval flow. So to create approval flow, and you can read the other explanation as well. So next question now. Okay, so you are asked to monitor customer satisfaction and analyze trends. You plan to use Power Automate with Forms Pro and Net Promoter to request feedback and evaluate the responses. You need to determine which feature of Power Automate to use to meet the requirement. So what you will do, send a survey to a customer. So that is kind of a action. Automatically process survey responses. So this is about the triggering one, and determine if promoter or detractor. So that is an expression. Using expression we can determine that. Okay, so let's see the options. Yeah, so these are the correct options. So functions, so nothing has been discussed over here. If we see, so functions are often used with expressions to perform calculations and comparisons. So simply they are saying to automatically process survey, so that will be trigger. And remember adaptive card. So what is an adaptive card? So cards are used with Microsoft Teams and Outlook. Okay, then next question. Your company uses Dynamic 365 customer service. A flow is created to send an email notification to the service manager when ticket is completed. Sometimes service representatives prematurely complete a ticket. You need to modify the flow so that the email is first reviewed by the service lead and then goes to the manager if the ticket is completed. So what should you use in this case? So as we can see, there are the option condition trigger. So we need to obviously use a condition in that case if we need to modify the flow so that the email is first reviewed by the service lead. So when something condition is given, like it is about the, so that the email is first reviewed by someone, so that is condition. So let's see what is correct option. So yeah, correct option is condition. Okay, your company uses Dynamic 365 when a service ticket is created. A technician visit to the customer is required. Technician visit should be agreed to by a manager. You need to ensure that this process is followed. What should you do? So what we will do, so over here the flow is mentioned. So in that case we will again use the approval part over here. So as the question says, technician must visit to the customer when a service ticket is created. So let's see. This is, yes, about the approval flow. So we'll use the approval flow over here. You should not use schedule flow. So schedule flows are used when you want to perform an action on a specific duration or time. So it is about when services ticket is created. So that is not fixed. It can be created at any time. Okay. Next question. So your company use Power Automate to monitor social media. When a specific hashtag associated with your company reaches a certain number of tweets and retweets, you should email the tweets to the marketing department. You need to set the number of occurrences of the hashtag in tweets and retweets that will start the flow. Which component should you modify? So let's see. Just a moment. Okay, sorry for the interruption. So yeah, so you need to set the number of occurrences of the hashtag in tweets and retweet that will start the flow. Okay, so this is about you are setting some limit over here. So it is like it is associated with your company, and when a specific hashtag associated and reaches up to certain number of tweets, so it is adding something related to the like expression you would define, right? So like if reaches a certain number of tweets and retweets, you should email the tweet. So I think the expression will be the correct one. So let's see the answer. Yeah, so this is expression. So let's move to the next question now. In Power Automate, you can build a flow from scratch using more than 400 connectors to automate a business process. Alternatively, also in order to create a flow, what can you use as a base and extend to meet your business needs? So, alternatively, also in order to create a flow, okay. So it is something like we need to create a flow that what can you use as a base and extend to meet your business need. So flow from scratch it is mentioned, no? So using more than 400 connectors. So let's see what are the options. So business process flow, template, common data model, logic app. Okay. So see, if I say about logic app, then it is about the Azure service that will help to automate the task. Okay, so I think nothing over here is related to the logic app, so we can neglect that. And CDM, when it comes to common data model, then it is a collection of I can say a collection of schemas including entities, like, right. So CDM is also the wrong one, so we can select a template as it sounds perfect. So let's see the correct answer. So yeah, this is the template. Next question now. So next question, let's see. So your coworker is using Power Automate to create flows. You need to get a copy of the flow for backup purposes. Okay, so what you will use, as we want that for the backup purposes. So which two actions? So one is the save as, like I can see in the option. So save as is the correct one. Yes. So rename is not the correct one, and share we do not want to, and export, right? So for the backup we can save as or export that. Okay, so now to the next question. So let's see. You create a scheduled Power Automate cloud flow. The flow runs each night and must process a set of data. Which action should you use to meet the requirement? To create a fixed number of tasks in Microsoft Planner. So fixed number, so we can say like do until till this number is not completed. To process a list of SharePoint item created during the day. So this is apply to each, right? So apply to each to process a list of SharePoint item created during the day. So nothing delay, do until, switch. So this is, I think, apply to, let's see the correct one. Yeah, so do until and apply to each. Okay. Okay, then next question. So let's see the next question now. Okay, so now what question says this Power Automate flow uses actions, connectors, triggers, and expressions. So what we will do over here is it is about connectors, triggers, and expressions, actions. So everything is getting covered. So this can be cloud flow, but let's see what are the other statement. This Power Automate flow uses robotic process automation. Okay, great, and it can record steps to help development. So that is a desktop flow, first of all. This Power Automate flow uses Dataverse, enforces a sequence of steps, and it is used in model driven apps. So flow uses a Dataverse, enforces a sequence of steps, and it is used in model driven apps. So this is a business process flow. So as now we can see like desktop flow, business process flow, this is done. So we are left with the data flow and cloud flow. So cloud flow is the correct one. So let's see the correct options now. So yes, this is cloud flow, desktop flow, and business process flow. You can read the description here. So we can move to the next question now. Your IT department is managing some sensitive files at work. IT workers are advised to place these files in a secret FTP folder from which they can copy the files to OneDrive. You need to automate the process of copying the files from the secret FTP folder as soon as the possible becomes as soon as the folder becomes available, and move it to OneDrive for business. Okay, which two options should you use? So in this case, what options are available? So that is object detector, and event driven flow, a business process flow. So we do not require any business related process flow, so we can eliminate this one. So as it is about the process of copying the files, automate, so we can select one template. So template flow can be the one, and event driven flow can be the other option. So let's see what are the options. So the yes, one is the an event driven flow, and another one is a template flow. So you can see The object detector are used to identify objects in an image, so it is nothing related to that, so you can simply eliminate. And business process flow are used in model driven applications to create a guided experience. Okay, great. Now to the next question. So your IT department is managing some sensitive files. Oh, sorry, my bad. So it has not been transitioned yet. So to the next question. So let's see what is happening now. Give me a moment. Okay, so you are a Power Platform administrator. You are creating Power Automate flows to automate sending emails to customers. You discover error in your flows. You need to use the correct option. So let's see what are the options available and what is the statement. So find errors of potential performance issue. So potential performance issue, we can use the flow checker. Run the flow while editing. So this is about testing, so we can use the test over here. Identify an error in an expression, so we can not about export submit, so we can view action outputs over here. So this is the correct answer for sure. So let's see the correct answer. Cool. So this is the correct answer. Flow checker test view action output. So you can read this. So next question now. So we are left with the few questions. So you build a Power Automate flow to automate a business process. You need to modify this flow so that it includes alternative business scenarios. The current flow must continue working. Great. To check the flow for warning and errors. So the flow, so we can use the flow checker for any warning and errors to run the flow with previously. So this is like testing. So to watch the flow execution as it is running. So this is about the, again, this is the part of test only. So we need to watch the flow execution as it is running. So the activity is given for us to just to confuse. So we cannot use the action like the activity utility, because it gives you a summary of how many times like succeeded or failed, like that. Okay, so this is the option. So flow checker test and test. Great. Now to the next question. You are a Power Automate designer. You plan to create a flow to notify yourself when a new blog post from your company is published. You want to receive this notification in a Power Automate mobile app 10 minutes after the post is published. So what is the question? So you need to build the flow. Okay, so which actions or triggers should you use? So this is about when you will use the action and when you will use what. So okay, so when a feed item is published, delay. So first of all, in a process we will have when a feed item is published, and then this is the count, and after that like over here we will check with something. Okay, count, I don't know what it is. 10 count, and unit is in minute, and then you will new step and save it is mentioned, right? So which actions or triggers should you use? Manually trigger a flow, so no, this is not required. Send a push notification, so yes, this will be used. Is this is a vacant? Yeah, so this is the position. Recurrence, no. Send me an email notification, so this is the delay. Okay, when an feed item is published, delay, count 10 unit minutes, send a push notification, and see the answer. Yeah, so these are the answers now. Okay guys, so to the next question. You create a Power Automate cloud flow. A connector returns a set of objects in an array. You need to transform the shape of the objects in the array and extract values. Which connector should you use over here? So control is given, so no, it is about connector returns to the set of objects. So not Power Query, we don't want to perform any query actions or data flow. So this is nothing related to data verse again. So this is about the data operations. So let's see. Yeah, so this is data operations. You need to transform the shape of the object in an array and extract the value. Great. So now to the next question. Your company uses a Power Virtual Agents in Microsoft Teams. You need to create a registration bot to provide event details. So what you will use to provide an event detail? So this will be, let's see, to obtain age verification. So this is a question. to send a confirmation email. So this is again a action kind of thing. So question, action, and to provide event details, that will be not a condition, so that would be definitely a message only. Yeah, so message, question, and actions are the correct one. So next question now. So you create a chatbot using Power Virtual Agent in Microsoft Teams. You need your chatbot to identify if an email address is in a user response to your chatbot. What is used to discover email address? So to discover that, we should have something pre-built entities. I can say not a custom. As we want to identify an email address, right? So that it should have some pre-built entities. So let's say, yeah, so this is the correct one, and you see that variables are used to store responses and topics are used to control the conversation path and flow. Okay, great then. Your company wants to build several chatbots and it is considering using Microsoft Power Virtual Agents PVA. What type of product offering is PVA? So it is which type of basically offering? So it is a software as a service. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I selected platform by mistakenly, so that is a software as a service, infrastructure as a service platform. So PVA is not a platform as a service, because cloud-based product offering which is associated with large solution products that provide service such as computational capacity, databases, and store management. So Microsoft assumes the responsibility for the maintenance and patching of the underlying hardware. Okay, cool. So now next question. Let's see. Okay, so your company is building a chatbot using PVA. You need to change the name of your chatbot referring to the exhibit and the link shown on the left side of the PVA screen. Which link is the correct link to use? So analytics, so no. Entities, again, so no. So we need to change the name for our, so we'll use the manage. Okay, so in that we can change that. Yeah, so we have selected manage and that is the correct one. Okay, so now your company uses Power Virtual Agent in Microsoft Teams and creates a customer support bot. You need to add more content to the customer support bot. Which three actions should you perform? So will you create a new bot, as it is asking you to like create more content, right? Add more content. So you will not create again a new bot. You will add some new topics to that. You will ask a question or show a message to that, and you will create a trigger phrases, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, as it is three options. So these are the three, and let's see. So yes, these are the three. So now we are on to the second last question. So your coworker creates a customer support bot with a topic named user voice. You find that the user voice topic is not responding to any messages. You need to fix the issue. Which two actions should you perform to fix this issue, as this is not responding to any messages? So add an end of conversation message to the user voice topic. So no, we don't want to end the conversation message. So like greeting message, so no, this is about how will I fix the issue. So add trigger phrase to the user voice topic, this is correct. Set the user voice topic status to on, that is also perfect. So let's see two actions. So yeah, these are the two actions, and you can read the others as well. Last question, here we go. Wow, so let's see what is the question. So your company uses Power Virtual Agents. You need to create a registration bot that collects usernames and email addresses to send out confirmation emails. So which four actions should you perform in sequence? Now this will take some time, as we need to put them in a sequence. Which four actions we will put in sequence? So let's see. Add a question to the username and email, add call and action, and configure the send email action, add a trigger phrases, add an end of the conversation message, add an end of conversation message, add go to another topic. So first will be create topic, as in we can see. So you need to create a registration bot that collect username and email address, right? So other thing will be triggering phase, if I'm not wrong. So we can add the trigger, and then we can question something. So like call and action will be the last, I think. So we can question for the username and email. Yeah, this actually suits the question, as it is saying create a registration bot that collects user names and email addresses to send out confirmation emails. Now I can No, yet I cannot end the conversation message. And four actions. So we have completed the three one. Go to another topic, so we can eliminate this, we can eliminate second one, and we are left with the first one. So add call and action and configure to send email action. So I think we are 100% correct on this. Let's see. So yes, hooray, we are correct and we are done with the questions. So congratulations to everyone, those who have watched our part 1, part 2 and part 3. All the best for your exam. I am damn sure you will be able to crack that. So that is somewhat 700 passing out of 1000. So wish you all the very best, as many of the users have requested for the part 3 as well. So thanks for them too as well for encouraging me to upload the data, and this will help everyone as it is public for everyone. So thank you all of you, and if you have found this video helpful, kindly please comment. This will motivate me, and moreover you can like this video and subscribe for more cloud related content, so which I am going to upload nearby in future. So this is already work in progress, so you can stay tuned by clicking on the bell icon, and please make sure to subscribe us as well. Okay then guys, thank you very much and bye bye. Let's see you in the next video. So take care. Thank you. Bye bye.